So hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. So today we're lucky because we're going behind the scenes with the entire team of experts over at DuraSlic, which produce the DuraSlic coatings. So a quick briefing. If you guys remember, a few months ago, I did a video about the DuraSlic DS 1500 Xtreme professional grade ceramic coating that we applied to a vehicle. That video did super well. You guys were very interested in that coating. And so I thought I'd follow up with a video where we're going to have access to the chemist that's behind the team that created this, and also two of their master detailers. So if you guys are professional detailers and you want to sign up to become professional installers of that coating and you want all the details, well, we're going to talk about that. And the main aspect of this video basically is to dive into the chemistry and the technology behind this awesome product. So it's a jam-packed episode. They promised me that I was able to ask a bunch of questions. And so I think I'm going to surprise them. I came with a bunch of papers ready to go. Let me first start by introducing everybody that's there today. So we first have Steve Johnson. So he's the Director of Product Development for DuraSlic and DuraSlic products. Steve works with a team of 5 chemists to make that magic happen. So they blend their own chemicals in-house in the USA. So hi, Steve, how are you?
Very good. Nice to be here.
Awesome. So we have the main person behind the tech. So guys, I don't want to give him too much right now, but I'll be asking questions like, how do you guys come up with these durability claims? How do you test for durability? What's the chemistry behind it? Why is that coating only a 1-layer coating? That's a lot of you guys had that question. Why are there no maintenance toppers required? So yeah, stay tuned all the way till the end. There's a bunch of cool stuff. And we also have Ryan Kirkpatrick of Showshine Detailing in Windsor, Colorado. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Pam.
And we have Myron Pierce of Tri-Cities Detailing in West Richland, Washington. So hi, Myron, as well. So those are two principles of extreme distribution for DuraSlic products and also master detailers. So if I quickly ask you, let's say, Ryan, what is your role? What does a extreme distribution principle mean for DuraSlic products?
Well, as my portion of DuraSlic outside of product distribution, I'm the master trainer as well. So I handle all the incoming trainees that are coming to our advanced training courses for ceramic coatings and paint correction.
Oh, that's awesome. And I guess, Myron, the same thing for you?
Yeah, I also help with helping guys develop their businesses on the marketing side of their coatings businesses.
Cool. So you're 2 professional detailers. You own your businesses, and obviously you're installers of the DuraSlic coatings. So it's going to be fun for any professional detailer out there that's looking to distribute that. I'll be able to dive in. So again, just to make a quick prelude, the vehicle that we used in that video 3 to 4 months ago, well, the coating is still obviously doing amazingly well. We're talking about a 7+ year professional grade ceramic coating that was applied. It was a 1-layer application, which I really appreciated because there are many coatings out there that require 3, 4, 5, 10 different layers. And so it's refreshing to see that brands are developing professional grade products that don't require crazy installation. And so in the topics today, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions to dive into the technology, obviously, but the coating for me was super easy to apply, and we've had feedback already. I'm sure you guys saw, especially the 3 that are there on screen. So Steve, Ryan, and Myron, you saw all the feedback in the comments of that video. So the ones who tried the coating absolutely loved it. They enjoyed that 1-layer thing. And of course, we'll be following the durability closely on my side, but you guys have been working with that coating for years now, so you know the durability in real world. So let's dive right into it, because DuraSlic is the coating brand and DuraSlic is the parent company. But let me first start with Steve. So to make us understand better, who or what is DuraSlic and how does it relate to DuraSlic, if you can enlighten us?
Okay, so Pan, it's just what you said. DuraSlic is a brand of DuraSlic, but we've got to go back another level. DuraSlic is a division of Florida Certec, which is a manufacturing company that's been in business since the 90s. We make a wide variety of chemicals for the electronics and industrial markets. We're a global company. We've got a footprint on every continent, but DuraSlic is just a brand of DuraSlic. It's our automotive coatings and ancillary products division or brand of NanoSlick.
So you have that, you had a coating knowledge and technology before you got into the automotive space, right? So how did DuraSlick products come about then? How did DuraSlick come to life for the automotive sector?
Well, they say it's all about timing in life and timing in business. And about 2 years ago, there was just a chance meeting between Mike Semeka, who's one of our principals of Florida Surtec, and Ryan. They just happened to meet. Ryan can tell you a little bit more about where that was and so forth. But right away, when they were talking, they had something in common: chemistry. We're both interested in chemistry, you might say. At that time, we were developing our first ceramic coatings for cars, just dabbling into it, you might say. But we really didn't have the detailing experience to know, from the hands-on front lines, how does the coating have to work? What to look for when it's applied. So we teamed up with Myron, and later on with Ryan, and later on with Myron, and they helped us start developing the coating so it would be really detailer friendly. We also learned early on that detailers know how to talk to other detailers, okay?
Yes.
And they understand what they need. They understand what the problems are. So they understand also the importance of training. That's just something that we didn't know at the time, and still we're learning. Later on, Ryan and Myron formed Xtreme Distribution, which is our master distributor. They handle distribution of all of our automotive detailing products under the DuraSlick brand. And what we get from that, in addition to their network of contacts, detailers, people out there, we get incredible feedback. As we're developing products, not only does Ryan and Myron test them out with their teams, but they send them out to select detailers in the field. So we get a lot of good feedback as we're developing new products.
That's awesome. And by the way, I want to thank DuraSlick for sponsoring this video, because I think it is important to have these discussions. And I know my viewers appreciate when I have the opportunity to go behind the scenes and meet the people behind the brand. So you guys blend your own chemicals in-house right in the USA. So that's awesome for a company to be able to have that kind of a control on the quality and the stuff you put out. And guys, stay tuned, because you're going to see just how crazy this gets as far as testing and all that stuff. So I'll have more questions. And by the way, I want to remind everybody that's watching the video, if you guys are interested in becoming an installer or certified applier for the NanoSlick and DuraSlick coatings, I'll leave the links in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So of course, all you have to do right now is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So Steve, I have a kind of a quirky, crazy question for you, because we have the chemist of the team that's there, the lead chemist. So if we focus on DuraSlick's ceramic coatings, what makes them different? Because I can feel there's obviously something different with the one layer thing and no maintenance stoppers and all that kind of stuff. But, and hopefully you'll laugh at this, but there's so many companies out there. Some say that they have SiO2. Some say they have nano diamonds. Some say they're glass coatings. Some say they're silicon nitride. Some say they're polysiloxanes. Some say that they're mixtures that contain graphene. Is it pure? Is it graphene oxide? Some say they have nanoparticles. It gets confusing to the customer. And so what can you tell us about specifically the DuraSlick ceramic coatings and what makes them special or different? Aha.
Well, Pan, I'm under a confidentiality agreement and I can't tell you anything. But if I could, what I'd tell you is I can't say why other companies say what they do, why they make the claims that they do, why they write certain things on the label. I don't know, but ceramic polymer technology is not trivial. It takes a big investment in time, money, expertise. We're talking about synthesis. We're talking about reactors. It's just not something a lot of companies can do, make ceramic polymers. So then you know, when you talk about what other companies are saying, you know, we can deduce that most of these companies are blending ceramic polymers, if they are ceramic, that they buy from someone else. And that's understandable. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you take the example of paint companies typically buy all of their raw materials and polymers, base polymers, from somebody else. Although some do make their own polymers if they're big enough.
Yeah.
But then it takes knowledge of polymer chemistry, curing technology, solvents, flow agents, performance of the coating. It takes all that to really put it together to make a product that the consumer will think is superior.
So if I understand correctly, that's what you guys bring to the table then?
Yeah, we have a whole team here, and all we do is develop ceramic polymer technology. We've been doing that for years, since 2011.
That gets me going because, as you know, well, I have a background in biochemistry, and of course the scientific side of things always gets me excited. It's nice to see that you guys have a direct involvement in what you do. But so how can we understand then the DuraSlick ceramic chemistry, specifically your product?
Okay, so as we said, the DuraSlick is a brand created by NanoSlick specifically for the detailing market. So DuraSlick ceramic coatings are based on a chemistry, a technology we call NanoSlick ceramic technology. We simply took our existing chemistry that's been used for years in industrial applications, and we adapted it to the special needs of the detailing market.
Okay, because I always like to simplify things for anybody watching. So I think the more knowledge we give people, the better they understand a product and the more inclined they are to want to test it. So if I can ask more specifically, what does the chemistry do? So if we talk about that, what does your chemistry do?
If you could show we have a very brief video showing NanoSlick ceramic technology in action and what it was originally developed for. So can you show that?
Yes. So basically a stainless steel stencil with the ceramic coating that was applied on it and kind of a squeegee that goes back and forth to show abrasion.
Right. So there's the NanoSlick technology that's applied. In this case, it's sprayed on to this foil of stainless steel.
I'm guessing, so, by the way, guys, I'm sure you have never seen this in the video. Like there's these things, he's in his lab now and he's showing us these things. So what does that squeegee do exactly?
That squeegee pushes what's called solder paste, solder, through apertures in that stainless steel. And so our coating,
in the stainless.
Exactly. So we developed this coating to be totally repellent. Nothing will stick to it. It's highly hydrophobic and oleophobic, and it's got incredible abrasion resistance. So that's the original application. That's the application that we invented the chemistry for, not cars. That came later.
Yes.
So this stainless steel squeegee is going back, like you saw in the video, back and forth, grinding away on the coating. And the coating has to stand up for that, for maybe 100,000 cycles, if you could imagine. It has properties like Teflon, but it can be sprayed on, it can be dipped. And for car detailers, we developed a technology where it can be wiped on, the same type of chemistry.
So I'm guessing this is proprietary to you guys, right?
Yes. Yeah. We make it here. We synthesize it here. So it's highly hydrophobic, which means it repels water. Oleophobic, oil, it repels oil or oil-based materials. It's virtually impervious to chemicals and pH in a wide range. So I could demonstrate what I'm talking about. I'm going to drop some water on here. Can you see it bead up?
Yes. So that's the hydrophobic properties. Wow.
Okay.
So right there.
Now I'm going to show you something no other coating does. No other coating in the automotive market.
So that was the hydrophobic test, by the way, right?
Hydrophobicity, correct.
Yes.
So this is isopropyl alcohol.
So that's the oleophobic side now.
See that beating up?
Yes. So IPA, so that's the oleophobic side. So you have both hydrophobic properties and oleophobic. So for those who are watching, what is the difference between both? So hydrophobic properties and oleophobic properties.
Hydrophobicity is repellency towards anything that's water-based. Oleophobicity is repellency towards anything that's oil-based.
So if you have, for example, traffic film, which is common in road grime, so that would help resist that even more, make it easier to maintain during maintenance washes, right?
Tar.
Tar, absolutely, yes.
It's oil-based, yeah. So
I think you guys use a goniometer, so something that measures the water contact angles.
Exactly, goniometer, goni from the Latin for angle, goniometer measures the angle. And I think this would be an excellent time. Why don't you show, we have a brief video of what a goniometer looks like.
Yes. So basically you can see the kind of a pump system on the panel, and then the water droplet dropping on the panel, and hence the measurement of the water contact angle, right?
Exactly. It drops on 4 picoliters of water, a very small amount. We can't do that by hand. And then the computer, it will measure the angle. So we can explain it this way. It's how spherical the drop is as it's sitting on the surface. That's probably the simplest way to explain it, how spherical it is. The more spherical it is, the more the repellency of the surface.
And what are the water contact angles for, let's say, the DS 1500 Xtreme?
For 1500, it's about 95. Xtreme, it's 105.
So over 100. Okay. That's
and I will tell you, we do this every day. And yeah, of course, any manufacturer looks at competitive products. I mean, we want to get better.
Yes.
We haven't found anything that's as hydrophobic as the Xtreme. And certainly nothing is oleophobic. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but not like the Xtreme.
For me, that was something new, because I always like to see companies branch out and come out with different chemistries. And this is certainly the first time I hear of oleophobic side of things. So that can even repel, well, like you said, tar, IPA, traffic film, all that kind of stuff. So it just gives, I think, a wider range of stuff that it can repel, and hence help keep the cars looking cleaner for longer, or at least help them make them way easier to clean during maintenance washes. I'm looking at our 2 pro detailers now. They must love those properties of that coating. But Steve, so this leaves me to, because I read the comments as well of my viewers, and I also had that question often, because I don't think there's any standard in the industry. But so you guys claim the DS 1500 Xtreme is a 7-year coating, so 7 years of promised durability. But how do you guys come up with such crazy numbers? People always wonder how brands or companies establish those claims, because you'll see a 2-year coating, a 3-year coating. Now we're seeing 5- and 7-year coatings. Are those numbers invented? Like, please tell me, how do you come up with those numbers?
Well, Pan, I really can't speak to why other brands make the claims that they do.
Okay. But you guys?
We approach things a little bit differently. We're driven by data. I mean, we come from beyond DuraSlick. We produce all kinds of other coatings. We make coatings for electronics. We make conformal coatings for electronics. We make anti-graffiti coatings. We make glass coatings. We make anti-slip coatings for machinery. Okay. We have to meet certain specifications. We have to take measurements. Nothing leaves our factory unless it meets quality control for that particular product. So that's how we approach things. We try to have tests that simulate real world conditions.
That's what I want to know. And that's what my viewers want to know. Well, how do you guys do this?
Okay, so in order to rate the lifetime, the potential lifetime of a coating, we look at the durability. And we use what's called a scrub tester, because our take is that a coating, the primary determination of its lifetime is, how it's going to get scrubbed, repeated car washes, and how long it's going to stand up to that. Well, how do you test it? There's no industry standard for ceramic coatings. We had to come up with our own standard, some way of measuring the durability. So this would be a good time to show the video of the scrub tester.
Yes. So basically it's a plate plus the coating that's on there. And then there's kind of a scrub brush that goes back and forth, right? With car shampoo as a lubricant, or what are you using for a lubricant?
We will use car shampoo.
Okay.
It's what's going on in the real world.
So you're simulating real world conditions.
Exactly. So that particular test machine was developed for the paint industry. It's a standard piece of equipment for the paint industry, ASTM D2486. And they want to know in the paint business, how long will that paint stand up to somebody repeatedly cleaning it?
So mechanical abrasion.
Exactly. So we'll take the coating, and it'll go back and forth. Typically, we run about 2,000 cycles. And then we look at every 500 cycles, we look at the contact angle. If the contact angle is going down, the coating is being affected.
Okay.
Negatively. So you're going to show, you could put up the graph showing, for instance, here, the DuraSlick Xtreme and what happens over the course of 2,000 scrubs. And we have some competitors there.
Which we won't name, yes.
We're not naming. That's not the way we approach business.
Yes.
At NanoSlick, DuraSlick, or Florida Surtec.
Yeah.
We just try to be the best. We try to provide the best value for the customer.
So then once you have that graph, can you explain the scrub test as far as like, how do you do the lifetime calculation or come up with the formula?
So we're going to go public with this, Pan. You know, we believe in complete transparency. This is not a secret. I believe it's even on our website. So
Okay.
if you can put up, we have what's called a DuraSlick scrub test coating lifetime formula. So typically we'll run the machine 2,000 scrubs. Again, this is science. We have to make some assumptions in an experiment. One car wash, let's say you go over an area 4 times, 4 scrubs. So in 1 year, if you wash your car once a week, 52 car washes, that's 208 scrubs. If you take 2,000 scrubs, that's the length of the experiment, we'll divide it by 208 scrubs per year. In this case, it comes out to 9.6 years.
But you guys say 7 years.
There's a lot of other things that can happen to the coating.
Yes.
A lot of other things that we can't control.
Variables.
Exactly. We take 30% off the top and we come up with 7 years, and we feel that's a realistic estimate of the lifetime of the coating. That is, if it survives 2,000 scrubs.
So technically, in good conditions, if the car is well maintained, and we're not looking at crazy variables like is it a daily driver or is it in crazy Canadian winters, but in regular conditions, well maintained, it could actually surpass 7 years. That's what I'm getting out of this. But to make sure that people get value for what they're spending, you guys tone it down to 7 years to at least kind of give them a general feeling of, well, including some variables. So that 30%, that's a lot that you guys knocked off, because that's almost 10 years of protection. Well, they should be getting anywhere close to 7 years in real world conditions.
Companies that develop industrial products, very specialized products, are typically very conservative. They don't make wild claims.
Yeah.
Their reputation is on the line.
Yes.
So that's why we feel that conservatively 7 years is a good number. And we test over and over. We're running these tests all the time, not only on our products, on competitive products. Xtreme holds up longer than any other coating we've ever tested.
So before I get back to you, Steve, let me quickly throw a curveball to Myron or Ryan, whichever wants to respond. You guys have used this now for years. How long have you been testing this product? I'm guessing you've been using it almost since its inception. And has it been holding up in your professional applications as far as detailers go on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I've actually been working, I think I was introduced in 2017 to the NanoSlick technology, and kind of became exclusive with them as of 2018. But we've probably installed well over 800 NanoSlick, DuraSlick, coatings on automobiles and boats and RVs and motorcycles and pretty much everything you can think of. We have a regularly scheduled maintenance program set up with our customers. inviting them back in after initial application to ensure proper care and maintenance. And then also we recommend every 8 to 12 months, just because we are in Colorado, we do get some harsh winters as well. If a coating's had, a 3-month period of, pretty rough winters, we would like that vehicle to come back sooner than later for at least a decontamination inspection, kind of just checking it out. It's being preventative, and offering the best absolute service to the customer. But from my personal experience and working with that system, we have a great success rate. I mean, after about 3 years now, about 90% of my coatings business is strictly referral based.
That's awesome. So I'll have questions for both Myron and Ryan later. You guys got my brain going. But back to Steve. So let me ask you another question that's been asked by my viewers, and which I also have as well. So DuraSlic Xtreme, the DS 1500, what really was awesome for me is it's a 1-layer application and no real maintenance required. So a lot of my viewers who know, usually typical ceramic coatings, they require, most of the time they recommend 2 coats. Some companies recommend 3, 4, 5, 10, it depends. And they also recommend every 2 to 3 months to use some sort of a topper on it to maintain or replenish the properties to make sure that you're getting maximum performance, because over time, coatings have a tendency to degrade. So how is it possible, as far as the DuraSlic technology and chemistry is concerned, how is it a 1-layer, no real maintenance required, no topper? I see you smiling, but I need an answer.
You know what? I guess that's the advantage of coming in from an industrial background, producing ceramic coatings for years. We don't have all this baggage, all these things that we've heard from other ceramic coating companies as to why they do what they do. We're just trying to make the best product, best value for the consumer, for the one who's actually buying the coating. I mean, as we know, this is not inexpensive to have a ceramic coating put on. We want to do our best. So here's our take. Here's our take on the subject. A ceramic coating is put on the car for 2 reasons, 2 main reasons. One is to protect the paint. The other is to make it easier to clean. People can make all kinds of other claims, but that's not what this interview is about. We would have to spend a long time talking about all their claims. But there's 2 reasons. Like I said, a ceramic coating is put on. Protection, easy to clean. So how do you protect it? How do you protect the paint? You want to make it repellent. You want to make it so any material that's out there will be repelled from the surface. So you want it to be hydrophobic and oleophobic. So how do you make a coating easy to clean? The same answer. You want it to be hydrophobic and you want it to be oleophobic. So anything that does get on there is easy to get off. So if you can do that with 1 layer, that's all you need. But here's the chemistry part of it. Hydrophobicity and oleophobicity are what we call surface properties. It's surface chemistry. There are people, all they do is study what happens on the surface of a coating or a polymer. The molecules that make a coating hydrophobic or oleophobic may only be 50 nanometers. It's just the top surface. So no matter how many layers you build up one on top of another, you still have the same surface on top. So the way we look at it is make that surface as good as it can be, as hydrophobic, as oleophobic as possible. And then you've got a coating that's simple to put on, that will last, and you don't need something on top of it. That never made sense to us. Why do you need to protect the protection? So we just work hard to make that layer as repellent and as abrasion resistant as possible.
I like how you guys think outside the box. I wish, hopefully other brands are watching and listening, and they need to come up with ways to make this technology possible. And I'm guessing, and I'll have this question for the 2 detailers that we're seeing now, the 2 master detailers, because this is a game changer if you're operating a detailing business and you don't have to apply 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 different coats on a vehicle. That means decreased time of work and increased profitability. So I can see the cha-ching, cha-ching going, and I can see Ryan is already smiling. Okay, so Steve, I have another question.
And if I could just interject, There is this debate. We can't control the whole conversation. It's a big industry, but there is this debate about slipperiness. Okay, and some customers, and I'm sure Ryan and Myron will tell you all about that. Some just want it to be slippery. Okay, they want the surface to be slippery.
Yeah.
They want to be able to take the microfiber towel, throw it on the hood, and just watch it roll off. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We have found that there's really no connection between that and how long the coating lasts.
So slickness and durability, they're not tied together.
No. But we do have a product called Speed Coat. If somebody wants it to be slippery, they can put it on top, and they'll have a slippery coating. And then the DuraSlick will still be underneath. And that's fine. We understand.
So for those who are wondering then, why do they have Speed Coat? So it's not necessarily as a maintenance topper to make sure the coating is performing well. It's for those, for example, who would want maybe to boost slickness, boost gloss a bit, have a different feel to the hands, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong. If that's what a customer wants, that's fine.
And you know what, Steve? Because you spoke about, like, your two focuses are durability and, of course, the maintenance of the vehicle, that's going to be a lot easier when you have that coating on. I still noticed that it gave a nice gloss to the finish. And I know for a lot of people, it's important. So what can you say about what are the components, or why does the ceramic coating boost gloss or enhance gloss, or at least enhances the visual appearance of the clear coat, so that people understand why it also looks better when you have that ceramic coating on your car?
I think I'll let Ryan answer that question.
I mean, I think just from learning from Steve in general, I mean, when you're adding that layer of protection, you know, with the high gloss factor that you're getting, Myron may have actually better answer. I think he's done gloss meter testing on it. But just, you know, unlike a wax and a sealant that's going to give you kind of a temporary, you know, gloss and glow, you know, this is actually a permanent layer of adhesion that's going to actually adhere to, you know, after a paint correction. Obviously you have probably your most, you know,
increasing gloss.
Yeah, the most glossy you can get on the surface, and this just takes it to that next level, but also locks it in. And you can actually, you know, where you actually get that deep appearance of the coating, you know, with it being as hydrophobic and oleophobic as it is. I mean, it just, and then the thickness levels too. I mean, Steve, you know, can hit on this, but I can also hit on this as well. I mean, you look at other coatings in the market, and there's a couple out there that will actually rate, you know, like a 27 nanometer thickness with their two products. Okay. When you actually look at DuraSlick and DuraSlick Xtreme, you're getting like 200 nanometers of thickness. So it's almost 10 times what you're seeing from just one company that actually claims a thickness level, which, you know, in chemistry and in our, you know, visual opinions, definitely increases that gloss factor.
Super interesting. But Steve, I'm just asking questions like crazy. So some of my viewers noticed, and there's this common question theme going, that a professional grade coating, because the DS 1500 Xtreme is a professional grade coating, well, that should necessarily mean that it has to be cured by infrared lamps. A lot of people assume that as soon as you talk pro grade, that necessarily means IR lamps, but that is not the case, because I applied the DS 1500 Xtreme, and that's another thing I appreciated. You get all that durability without having the need for expensive equipment and have downtime curing each panel with the IR lamps. So why is that your coating doesn't require infrared heating?
I don't know why they make those claims, but I will tell you, virtually all ceramic coatings that are on the market today cure at ambient temperature.
Okay.
In other words, they cure at room temperature. So you just have to, how long does it take before you can take the car out? I believe the reason they're using infrared lamps is just to speed up the cure. Instead of it staying in the shop for 18 hours, maybe they can get it out in 10 hours or 8 hours. So all of these ceramic polymers, and ours included, they cure at room temperature, but they're catalyzed by heat. Okay, so you can make them go faster if you heat them up. So something else most people probably don't realize, they're also catalyzed by moisture. They have to have moisture in the air. There's enough in the air, even in a dry climate, there's enough moisture. And that catalyzes the reaction for them to bond to the surface and also to cross-link. So we don't need infrared lamps. Now, if you can put up, we have a chart that shows the curing performance. Again, we've been studying curing of ceramic coatings since 2011. I mean, we have a lot of industrial applications. We have to understand exactly how the coating cures, the thickness and so forth. If you can put that graph up.
So it shows basically the hardness over time, right?
Yeah, so what we'll do is look at the hardness, you know, the pencil hardness everybody
Yes.
talks about.
That's the famous
Pencils.
7H, 9H.
It's
So
actually a
hardness.
pencil. It's a pencil. You take a pencil, this isn't rocket science. You take a pencil and you stick it in this gizmo here. It's like a little sled and you drag it across the surface.
I love seeing those things.
Yeah.
So that's how you actually do it. So that's how they test.
You know, that's
for the
really
9H
heavy.
Scale, the 8H, 10H.
It's like 500 grams. That's really heavy. So yeah, so if you see right there on that slide, the pencil hardness test, which was not developed for automotive coatings, but it was developed in the paint industry, goes from 9B, which is really soft, to 9H. The standard pencil hardness maximum in most places in the world is 9H. There is a company though, we found called Mitsubishi that makes a range of pencils that goes up to 10H.
Okay.
Okay, so we tested our
companies come up with claims of 12H in weird areas. That makes no sense then.
You can't take two pencils and add them together. It just doesn't work.
Exactly.
No. 10H is the hardest pencil there is. There's nothing harder. So that's just a lot of height.
The DS 1500 Xtreme, it needs 24 hours without exposure to water or rain, right? Of curing?
Yeah. So if you look at this chart,
yeah,
we will develop in 12 hours, it'll be 5H. In 18 hours, it'll be 6H, which at 6H, you really can't scratch it. I mean, it's fully protected. But it takes 66 hours at room temperature for these coatings to reach 9H hardness.
And so the infrared lamps, as you said, and this I think is important for people to understand, is not that it's required, but for those that put them, it's to speed up the process instead of having it at room temp, say 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, if you're increasing the temperature, you're necessarily increasing the curing time. So decreased time means the customer can leave quicker.
That's the only reason for it. By the way, give you another little fact about our chemistry. It will not reach full chemical resistance for 3 weeks.
Okay.
No matter what you do, it will not reach full chemical resistance for about 3 weeks. A customer will never notice. I mean, he's not going to be dropping alcohol or hydrochloric acid on his car, but these are the kind of things that we test in the laboratory.
And they can wash their cars after 7 days, right? If they want to, pH neutral, wax-free car shampoo, is that fine?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So as long as they don't use anything crazy on the body, like iron removers or tar removers or stuff like that, they need 3 weeks to reach that full cureness level. Okay, that makes sense. Steve, I don't want to keep you up there too long. I have one more question because I want to move on to the pro detailers as well. 2 more questions, maybe. Sorry, I always keep getting more questions. So we know there's the DS 1500 Xtreme, but I also have the regular DS 1500. So what is the main difference between the Xtreme and the regular DS 1500 while we have you there?
Okay, if you could put the slide on that shows the hydrophobicity, the DS 1500 and the 1500 Xtreme, that'll show you the difference. The Xtreme will reach a contact angle of about 105. The regular 1500 is about 95. And then you see also there on the screen, after 2000 scrubs, what they end up with.
So it's going to be a little more durable on the DS 1500 Xtreme side.
It starts higher and it stays higher because it's hydrophobic and oleophobic. Again, that's our approach, you know, and we think it's working.
Does the regular DS 1500 also have the oleophobic properties like the Xtreme?
You know what I would say, an easy way to understand it, if 0 is no oleophobicity and 5 is the Xtreme, the 1500 is about a 1.
Okay.
And that's the difference. We figured out how to take this technology in a wipe-on coating.
Yes.
And make it as oleophobic and hydrophobic as our spray-on coatings. And that's, it took quite a while to figure that out.
And that's another thing that was impressive is the ease of application. Like there are some coatings that are super tacky to apply. They're finicky with their flashing times. You're trying to see, is it going to give an oil slick on water look or the rainbowing effect? You don't necessarily see it. It's really, really finicky with temperature and humidity. And this for me, and I'm sure I'll dive into that with Ryan and Myron in a second, but application was a big thing because you want it, especially on a professional level. You don't want to fight with the coating. You want to have a fun application. It's not because you're a professional detailer that you necessarily want the product to be difficult to apply. Like difficulty should have nothing to do with the quality of the product. So hats off to you. But okay, one last question, Steve. I saw like all the innovation going, and I know you guys probably don't stop there with those awesome ceramic coatings, but is there anything else down the pipeline that we can expect to see from DuraSlick? Because I know you have the speed coat, which is basically a cool maintenance stopper that you guys can use for slickness and gloss. You have these ceramic coatings, but what else?
So we're introducing a new product now. It's gone through full testing with our master detailers who are right here with us today. It's called Leather Coat Max. So this is a cleaner. We figured out a way to combine a cleaner, a conditioner, and an actual coating for leather that's highly hydrophobic. And so it won't stain. Things won't stain the leather. So there's something else about this. It's antimicrobial.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah, so we worked with a company, it's right here on the label, Sciescent. We work with a company that makes antimicrobial additives, and we figured out a way how to get it into the coating. Yeah,
so does this mean it's going to resist microbes over time as well? So it's not a 1 or 2 day thing?
No, no. The antimicrobial activity stays in for the life of the coating. So yeah, we've done a lot of testing, biological testing. It's really a high-end product. It's not cheap.
So it's a high-end product. Makes sense.
Yeah, and we're just launching it now. Actually, we're about to send out the first shipment.
Are we looking at dye transfer resistance, friction damage resistance, that kind of stuff as well that we expect from a coating?
Yes, yes.
And durability wise, what can people expect from it? Plus 6 months, 3 months?
Well, we've had it installed for about 3 months now. I think you can talk to Ryan about it. We're seeing virtually no degradation in the coating. So it could be good for a year. It's a little bit too early to say.
You know what, Steve? Send me one of those bottles. You got me, because I know how good your tech is. I absolutely need to try that. So what is then the main point? Is it the antimicrobial feature, or what would you say is your thing that you're most proud of, that coating that separates it from everything else?
So typically there's a cleaner and then there might be a conditioner. We figured out a way to blend it all together. It's one coating, does everything. It's a cleaner, conditioner, and leaves a hydrophobic coating on the surface.
So what is it called? Can you show it once again? I got to put that in my brain. Leather Coat Max. I love how you guys innovate with that thing. By the way, guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask DuraSlick or NanoSlick, leave a comment in the comment section. I know they're looking at them and we're going to be able to answer those, but I think I dived pretty deep. But now let's give place and let's give room to the professional detailers and the distributors and master detailers for DuraSlick coatings. So Ryan and Myron, now is your time is for you guys to shine. So I'll ask maybe each one of you guys a few questions so we can alternate. Let's start with Ryan, perhaps. So this is more, I think, a point now where the ones who are interested about the technology and they have a detailing shop and they might be looking into becoming authorized installers for DuraSlick. Again, I'll leave the link for that in the description under the video. But Ryan, what can you tell us about why you wanted to be involved with NanoSlick as a company? Because I'm always curious, why would a detailer that's maybe watching this right now, why would they want to get involved with this brand? So what can you say to that?
I think, personally, when I was introduced to Mike, we had a conversation about the automotive coatings industry. And then later on, meeting Steve, I had already had a consulting role in the automotive coatings industry with another company. And I think there was always that gray area, never really being told, shown, informed on exactly how or what made coatings work. Okay. And then obviously, from being in the industry for so long, is just that all these companies come out with their claim to fame, so after a few sit downs with Steve, asking about heat resistance and contact angles and just all the different, stuff that the coating companies were offering, it really just opened my eyes to the fact that we actually have an opportunity to source information that really no other, at least to my knowledge, professional detailers actually have available to them, because of the fact that we were getting ready to launch into the automotive industry. And with their transparency of information, Myron and I started having a conversation because we were together with this other company as well. And it's just a lot of sales and marketing hype is what you're seeing with all these other companies, flashy videos, marketing hype, sales. I mean, you got a lot of new guys that are coming into the industry, which Myron and I are working with right now and developing. They're attending our trainings. They're getting excited because they're getting true information about where they can take their business. And then you got guys that have, finished maybe their first half of their careers, like in, such as like the military, or we have a seismologist that works for the government out of New Jersey that's on board because he understands technology and chemistry. And so we've got other facets of guys coming into our market because we are able to provide them with true data and true information that no other coating company is putting out there.
So you've been dabbing into that technology since 2017, 2018 professionally with the DuraSlick. Myron, what about you? How long have you been installing the DuraSlick coatings in your shop?
Probably about 6 months to a year after Ryan. Ryan brought me on board and, brought me on to DuraSlick, and it was the same reasoning. We had worked with the, a parent company as consultants, and the information that we were given on the data just broke through all the hype, and we got to see like really, the real story, behind the coatings and the truth of how it applies, durability testing and all that. And that's what really got me fired up.
So having access basically to the team of chemists behind it to kind of understand the technology before you go ahead and apply or say, listen, this is one company I'll be investing in, and saying I want to apply this at a professional level. So you were comfortable in hearing about the tech and then testing it. So Ryan, for the people who are watching that have a professional detailing shop, what can a professional detailer expect when they sign up to become a DuraSlick authorized installer? I'm going to put the company on the map and say, do they have any support from the company, or it's basically you just sign up and you're let go and good luck with your business?
No, absolutely not. That was what Myron and I, and the DuraSlick team, we teamed up together. Our passion for growing detailers is really deep. I mean, just because Myron and I were those guys that got into the industry, green behind the, wet behind the ears, just green to the industry, not really knowing anything about the coatings industry, knew that there was an additional revenue stream to be made, but really no support behind it. It was like that. Most companies are like that. Send me $12, let me send you some product, send me some pictures of your work, boom, you're an installer. We take a different approach. I mean, we want to take experienced guys and don't want to insult their technical skills or their business skills, but we want to consult with them and grow them into our industry by providing data and real world experience that we have with our coatings, and then the new guys obviously advancing them into becoming very good solidified businesses and making a very high profitability based off the fact that they're educating not only themselves but their customers at the same time. So from what we have, I believe is second to none. I mean, we have installed, between Myron and myself, we have generated millions of dollars in revenue in the coatings industry. I mean, over the last 5 years of working together, and I'm talking millions. And so when guys get excited about coming on board about a revenue stream that can generate anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 in their shop just by installing ceramic coatings and paint correction, you have to be educated on the process of how to do it.
And you guys are there to support them along the way. So then, Myron, my question for you would be, if you're more specific, what's the actual process for a shop owner or a professional detailer that's out there watching this video now to become an authorized installer for DuraSlick? Is it complicated? What are the costs that they can expect? Can you dive into that? Just the more specific stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. So we have for guys who are brand new in there, we have a 3-day training. It's in Windsor, Colorado at Ryan's shop. What that includes is the paint correction, how to learn the paint correction process on multiple different, types of paints, because you have soft paints, hard paints. You get to learn, that. How to apply DuraSlic ceramic coating. And Ryan, I'll have him talk about how quick it is, their timers that they've set on installing in their shop with brand new people. We have, the on-hands application of it so they can learn how easy it is, how a shop runs. And also we get on a call with me and I talk about the marketing side, because not only, in detailers, we understand the on hands, but what a lot of guys miss out on is the business side of it, the business development side. And that's where I focus a lot on how to market your business through social media, how to talk to the customers. Ryan does role playing, with their new guys, talking, being a customer and showing them, hey, this is how you talk to a customer. How to educate people. That's the biggest thing we really focus on, is educating on coatings, because that's what we feel like a lot of this is missed out on, is the educational side to inform customers, because people don't, it's new. And so people understand it's not just, it's not wax. This is something that's long-term on the vehicle. So we educate the guys on that, on the marketing, how to business development. And then we put about $500 in ceramic coatings. They get a bottle of Xtreme, they get a bottle of our 1500, they get a bottle of Speed Coat, and a bottle of our panel prep. So it's about $500 in products. And for the 3 days, it's $14.95. And for the 2 days, it's $9.95.
USD.
Yes.
So that's obviously inexpensive for what they're getting. I think you touched on a very important point, is that you can be, and I often say this in my videos as well, you can be the best detailer in the world, but if you don't know how to market yourself and how to promote your business and your services, you ain't going anywhere. So, and another thing that you spoke about, which I'm sure is getting my viewers to say, oh, very interesting. I've seen that trend, and for sure you guys did as well. The successful shops, as far as detailers are concerned, professional detailers, we're seeing more and more a trend of people wanting to apply ceramic coatings, which includes obviously paint correction, which is way more profitable down the line compared to just the traditional, just a regular wash interior or exterior. So I see a trend of the more successful shops going towards ceramic coating applications because they're more profitable. Now, am I just imagining this, or are you guys agreeing that ceramic coatings are the way if you want to be super profitable? It's like the new trend where people are trying to get on board with.
Fully agree. 90% of our business is ceramic coatings and corrections.
Same for you, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I have a full production detail shop as well with 8 full-time detailers. But as a business owner and carrying a high payroll, what pays me as the business owner and gets me to that next level, and my business partner as well, is the ceramic coatings and paint correction. And then my top tier guys that are working for me, they get, obviously a higher wage and a bonus structure based off of, how many ceramic coatings they're actually applying as well. We average about 5 to 6 a week. And, any detailer out there that's, pricing their jobs correctly should be in the range of about $1,300 to $2,500. Let's say for a paint correction and ceramic coating. If you do the math on that, there's a lot of profitability in the business. And, and then the install time. I mean, we consult with everybody, and you've installed other coatings before, where you're working on a panel, you can only cover, let's say, a 2x2 section. With Xtreme, like on the car that you coated, you can knock out the whole hood. And,
Absolutely.
When you can move on a car like that, we just had guys in training this last week. It was 2 brand new guys and 2 semi-experienced guys. And we knocked out 3 full coatings jobs on a Friday, from prep to finish. And we're still able to spend a couple hours at the end of the day talking business and strategy and marketing and all that kind of good stuff that goes along with it. And my biggest pitch to these guys is that if you can't sell a coating, you can't install a coating. And so if you don't have that part of it and you only have the technical side of it, you're going to be kind of dead in the water. And
so Ryan, because you touched on profits, and I'm sure a lot of pro detailers, they always want to find ways to become more profitable. As it's a 1-layer coating, the DuraSlic coating, and it doesn't require a top coat, does it mean more efficiency while doing coating jobs? Because I told you I would ask you this question, but also does it mean more profits for the detailer in the end?
Well, let all these detailers ask themselves this question when it comes to install time. Okay. We'll just put a round number out there. If you're averaging, let's say, $1,500 on a paint correction and ceramic coating, and you spent the first 4 hours, prepping and paint correcting that car. Okay. The last thing you want to do is spend the next 4 hours coating that car. We have an average install time with one guy of about an hour on a regular size car. You start putting two guys on there, I think we knocked out a full ceramic coating Xtreme on a Jeep Wrangler two-door with four guys in under 20 minutes.
And I fully get that. So the technology behind it does help people become more profitable. So it's not just about yourself being efficient in the way you do things, and the training will help with that. But the technology also allows you to have to do less steps, which in the end, less time means more money in your pockets. But Myron, obviously you guys love the product, but what about the customers? Are your customers satisfied with the coatings performance over the years? Because you've been dabbing with it now for a few years. And do they notice anything? Like, do they come back with feedback and say, hey, listen, like this is not your regular wax. There's something about it. My car looks cleaner, or it's easier to clean, or so what's the kind of feedback that you guys get from your actual real world customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So the initial feedback that we get, because Ryan had mentioned that we always have we educate our customers on how to properly wash. So we invite them after that, with Steve talking about the chemical, after the coatings can set up, we do a wash maintenance, a wash tutorial, about 30 to 45 minutes, showing them how to wash the car, tell them, hey, let it get dirty during that period. And then we wash it, and they see how much that water sheets off. Some people have already had coatings on other vehicles from other stuff before, and they're blown away. And we have repeat customers who we coated their vehicles couple years ago, and then bring back another car because they said they absolutely saw the difference and they want to have that reapplied. And Ryan can vouch for that too. He's told me lots of stories about customers having another vehicle done.
And Ryan, yeah, you see the same thing on your side?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, the majority of my business now is 90% referral. I mean, because I've been in the car business for a long time, and you always see that kind of turn and earn. You'll see 3 to 5 year, vehicle owners pretty traditionally, right, getting out of their vehicles in between about 3 to 5 years. So, they're buying a new one and coming back in to have the vehicle protection put back on because of the performance of what they've seen. But not only that, it's our installers. I mean, we've got guys from Hawaii and Texas and Alabama and upstate New York. I mean, there's other installers out there, and it's pretty awesome to see that they've installed 15 to 20 other coatings out there. They've played with other coatings companies, and 15 to 20 they say, and all the way, I mean 100% satisfaction with the install and the performance of DuraSlick. I mean,
that's awesome. I'm going to get to see it up close as well, because well, for me, I've applied it not as much as you guys, but I've done at least 3 or 4 cars till now with the DS 1500 Xtreme, and including that Toyota, which was in the video for the coating that I did on my channel. And I remember the customer was a lady owner, and don't necessarily really care about cars in general, but she wanted something super durable, and it was a perfect timing for that because I was excited about that coating. And one of the feedback that she told me that it was like, even when I know the car's dirty, it's been through rain or mud or whatever, I can still tell that somehow, compared to everybody else, my friends at work in the parking lot, the car looks cleaner. So there's so much satisfaction knowing that over a long period of time with your guys' feedback in real world, that you'll keep getting those results over time. I mean, you let that car go and you know that there's no much effort needed compared to other coatings from customers to maintain it. So that's pretty awesome. And I think it helps the shop owner be comfortable to say, I'm sending that car off now into the wild, as we say, and you're confident that it's going to be there for years to come. So Ryan, another question. So we talked about the training with Myron, but so if we talk about specifically the training that's ongoing to apply the coating, so you said you worked with people that have experience, but newbies as well. So can a person that's new to the detailing world, they just started their business, can they still think that they can have that training and go ahead and start applying ceramic coatings? Is that reasonable, or would they need like years of experience before diving into it?
No, it's not unreasonable at all. Myron and I, worked together with bringing in one of our newest installers who just left last week. He's 16 years old, and his dad owns a body shop. And I'm like, what a captive audience to attend to, with the fact that your dad owns a paint and body shop. 16 years old, the kid's on fire. He hadn't had experience in paint correction, just kind of doing detail working around his dad's shop. Came in here for the 2-day advanced course. And, in that afternoon alone, getting his hands on a full paint correction on a 2007 white Toyota Tundra, he was able to see, all the iron, deposits on there. You experience, getting the iron removal, the clay bar, polishing that chalky white paint back to a gloss. And, at the end of Friday, he was engaging in the how-to role play with myself and a few of the other guys on how to sell a coatings job and how to do a customer walk around. And so, no, I applauded him 100%. I said, man, you stick to this grind and keep educating yourself and educating your customers. And over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, I mean, you could be very well on your way to, being a millionaire. So
that is awesome to see. Like, that's one of the goals of my channel, and you guys know, is to inspire people to go out there and not only enjoy detailing their cars, if they're the average day consumer or the weekend warrior or the enthusiast, but also for the pro detailers who watch my channel, it's to inspire them to, you can be profitable by doing detailing. You can have a good life. You have to be serious, work hard, and do things right. And if you're teamed up with, awesome people like you guys who can help them along the way. And that's what I think one thing that distinguishes DuraSlick as a brand is all the support that those pro detailers will have. And hopefully this video showed that. So Myron, to quickly go back to you. So for the prices you spoke about, just remind me, what are the two prices and the number of days that are involved in the training?
Yeah, so the 3-day is $14.95 and the 2 days $9.95.
And they still, in both packages, get $500 worth of equipment and products to go out with.
Yes.
So they're starting off with something. By the way, I'll leave that link if you guys want to sign up. And you saw the technology. We spoke with Steve about the tech and the chemistry, and we spoke to Ryan and Myron. So those are two distributors, but also professional master detailers and installers that will help guide you through the process. So we'll leave links if you want to sign up. And also, if you're just a regular customer that's looking into having this applied, you can also click the link to see where you can have it applied nearest to your place. So I'm guessing, are you guys mainly in the USA for the coating application? If people want to find a shop where to have it applied?
Majority of our installers are in the USA, but thankfully for your last video, we've branched out quite a bit and have started putting about 4 or 5 guys working with possible sub-distributor out of Canada. And we had a really nice purchase from a customer in Sydney, Australia as well. And then obviously we branched out. There's been a few other bottles that have been sold, in and around the world as well. But the majority of our distribution is operating out of USA and Canada currently.
And thanks for your support, by the way, Ryan. I'm sure the viewers who know why I'm saying this, the ones who know, they know. But I saw the comment, much appreciated. And you guys are doing good things, and it's my pleasure to help out brands and people who work hard to do the right thing, and who also want to help people out there reach their goals. Because that's one thing I found that I like about you guys, is it's not a secret, and quite the opposite. Everybody's a winner when you can help a person set themselves up, understand how to use the product and how to set their business up and dive into marketing. Well, you're more inclined to have profits come in. Everybody's a winner at the end of the day, because everybody's going to be making a better job, not only for the customer that they get an awesome result, but being more profitable. At the end of the day, it's their livelihoods, right? Detailers, this is the way people bring food back on the table for their families, and to have endeavors and future plans to make your life more fun and more interesting. And of course, to plan for that retirement. So I want to thank each and every one of you for this video. So once again, let's do a round table if you guys have any final thoughts. So we have Steve Johnson, the resident chemist and part of a team of 5 chemists over at DuraSlick. Thanks for being there, Steve. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to add?
We enjoyed it. Enjoyed getting to know you, Pan.
Appreciate
your insight, your experience. Appreciate the platform, the opportunity to talk to your subscribers, your viewers. Think about Xtreme. It really is an extreme product. We've looked at everything on the market, and it's part of developing your approach, part of developing your chemistry. Xtreme is the most hydrophobic and oleophobic ceramic coating on the market.
Period. And yeah, I'm sure the ones who, because there were people who were able to buy it for a limited time as well. And yeah, we saw the feedback. They absolutely love it. By the way, so we have the 2 master detailers as well. So first, Ryan Kirkpatrick, once again, he's from Show Shine Detailing in Windsor, Colorado. So if you want to sign up, these guys will help you get a jump start to install this professionally. But if you're also viewing this as a weekend warrior or as an enthusiast and you want to have the DuraSlick applied, well, here are two of them that do an awesome job. So Ryan, any closing thoughts?
Again, thank you for all your support, and thanks for, putting us in a sense on the map into, professionals as well as consumers that are out there. And
Yes.
speaking for, myself as well as the team, I mean, we are truly passionate about what we're doing here, at DuraSlick. And, I think impacting people's lives, in this industry, I really feel, and Myron feels, that we can really take guys, from the bottom and really accelerate their businesses, if they just, open their minds up to educating themselves, but more importantly, educating your customers. The ceramic coatings industry and the detailing industry is so broad spectrum, but what sets us apart, as professionals and, as successful guys in this industry is the fact that we actually educate our customers and educate our installers to educate their customers for, the profitability, but also for longevity. We want to see our customers coming back. It's never good just to have a one quick buy and never see them again because they just felt like they get that, professional, but also like somebody that actually cares about them. And, with Myron and I, our philosophy is we don't want to sell you just, a bunch of product and send you down the road. And we don't want to sell you just one bottle. We want you to be educated and driven in this industry to be able to come back for multiple purchases. And, because you're making profitability and your customers are happy with, the product and the performance that you've provided them. So
Absolutely, man. You guys are genuine people. And last but not least, Myron Pierce of Tri-Cities Detailing in West Richland, Washington. Any closing thoughts, Myron?
Yeah. Thank you for having us on here. I really appreciate it. I've been in the business for 18 years, and I am still as passionate about it today as it was when I first started. And I think with me and Ryan as a team to work in this and help guys, we help guys grow that passion. And that's really what I like to see, that fire, happening, guys that are coming on board and they see this. Me and Ryan didn't have this opportunity when we were in the business 18 years ago. Coatings weren't out there. So This is a gigantic opportunity for people just getting on board in the, in the coatings industry. I'm going to say two plugs real quick, Pan, if I can. So
Absolutely.
I do have a YouTube channel, and it's Tri-Cities Detail. And I have about 1,500 videos on my TikTok channel, educating on how to do processes, our products, seeing them in real life, talking to customers. There's a lot of stuff I have on there too. If for people that are on TikTok to see that stuff as well, they get to see me as a person. I'm a natural thing, just what's going on here. And me and Ryan are regular guys who just have a passion and want to help others.
Absolutely. What's your TikTok handle called?
Tri-Cities Detail.
Okay, because TikTok is really blowing up right now. So guys, yeah, go check them out. I'm sure you enjoyed this talk. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I want to thank, first of all, DuraSlick for sponsoring this video. You guys made this happen. It's awesome that we get to sit down and you gave me this full-blown access to ask any questions that I wanted. And I think education is a big thing. You guys touched on it before. If people understand, because it's a question of educating your customers as well. They're used to waxes and paint sealants, but it's all about educating on the benefits of ceramic coatings. And that's another thing that I try to do is that's my favorite form of paint protection, ceramic coatings. And if you let them understand and you educate them onto why it's important to have protection on your vehicle to start off with, especially even on brand new cars, it's not only old cars that benefit from it. Well, everybody's a winner at the end of the day. And again, just thank you guys for being there. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, your emotions, your opinions. By the way, guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash the thumbs up button to show me your support. If there are any questions that you guys have for the group and gang, drop a comment in the comment section. I remind any professional detailer out there that wants to sign up and dive into the DuraSlick coating application and wants to go for that training and just have all that support, links will be in the description under the video for you guys to check those out. And if you want to have it applied to your vehicle, again, you'll be able to find your installer. So check those links, show some love to a company that has really genuine people working for it. And well, I could tell all three of you had a smile. It was effortless to be able to talk, and hopefully we'll get to do this again. So I want to thank all my viewers for being there. Once again, so Steve, Ryan, Myron, thanks for everything. Truly appreciated this. And like I say to my viewers, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Awesome.